This is now our lightning session. We have a grand total of 3 presentations at 3 minutes each, which will miraculously put us back on target for our coffee break, which, as we've just seen, is very important. There is a presentation number 0, and Lotte, would you correct me if I'm wrong? This is the IFLA Digital Humanities Digital Scholarship Working Group, yes. And their abstract is on your program, and there's a website that you can visit. They don't have anything here, though, is that right?
No, but he will be coming.
He will be coming later. Okay, but do look at their website. So that's presentation number 0. The 3 presentations, I have a little timer here that I will ding you with 30 seconds left out of your huge 3 minutes, and then I will ding you again when 3 minutes are up, and then I will ding you a third time if you go over 3 minutes. So first up we have
just university researchers, but also students, citizens, scientists, etc. And the kind of data that we have are digital language data in various different forms, and also advanced tools to process these data in various ways. We try to do this through a single sign-on environment that serves as an ecosystem as well for knowledge sharing. And the last bullet point, I mean, I can give you an entire presentation about it, but I'll just mention it, that we're ready for integration in the European Open Science Cloud. So this is how CLARIN looks at the moment, the members that is. This is actually a great time to show you this map, because we updated it last week when we could formally announce that Cyprus has become a member of CLARIN. So currently we have 25 members and observers. As you can see, well, we're in ERIC, a European research infrastructure, so these are mostly European countries, but we also have a third-party agreement with Carnegie Mellon University in the USA, and last year South Africa joined CLARIN as an observer as well. To give you a little impression of what CLARIN has to offer. As you can see, the final bullets shows a few dots, which means that this overview is far from complete. But just to give you some kind of impression of what you can find in CLARIN, we have newspaper archives, literary text, social media data, parliamentary records, historical letters, oral history data, disciplinary libraries, institutional archival data, etc. I'll be very quick about the collaboration. So both within these national consortia, there are all kinds of research libraries involved. For example, the National Library where we're in here today, which is a major part of CLARIN and CLARIAH in the Netherlands. But we also have a number of collaboration partners with Liber, Europeana, and within Shock we're developing all kinds of things. 3 minutes. Okay, for the rest, go to our booth and get the full story there. Thank you.
Hi, good morning everybody here, and good morning everybody at home. Okay, so you've just heard about CLARIN, and now I'll tell you a few things about the sister organisation DARIAH. So DARIAH stands for the Digital Research Infrastructure in the Arts and Humanities, and recently we've just gone through a strategic planning exercise, and we've updated our mission after around 10 years. So our mission now is to empower research communities with digital methods to create, connect and share knowledge about culture and society. Similar to what Leon just showed, we are 18 countries and we've got 25 cooperating partners across 8 non-member countries. But what is at the core of DARIAH? So our communities are central, and we definitely see libraries, archives and museums as core communities at the heart of the DARIAH collaboration. So, I forgot to bring, I've got a paper thing over there. So, current collaborations with libraries and archives and museums. This, I've got several paper copies if you're still into paper, but it's openly available, open access online. How to facilitate cooperation between humanities researchers and cultural heritage institutions. This was as a part of a sort of book hackathon where they created this particular document. We have working groups. This one is run by the Archive community, particularly by the state archives in Belgium, looking at the value of metadata in the digitally joined up world. Some of you may have heard of this, the Cultural Heritage Data Reuse Charter. Several of the infrastructures are involved, including CLARIN, LIBER, CERL, Europeana, and this is helping facilitate exactly what Emmanuel was saying. How can we make the rights and facilitate the rights access so people can use all of the digital collections for digital humanities research? And what about future opportunities? We'd very much like to see, in the same way Emmanuel was just saying, how can we facilitate sustainable data level access to digitised and born digital collections? So, for example, creating all of these data sets that are needed. Can we look for the joint curation of research corpora? This was from a presentation that Steven and I did at the DH Benelux conference. But when we're talking about collections, are we talking about corpora? Are we talking about the same thing? And finally, submission of joint funding proposals. It's really crucial that we can get money to work together on this. So this is what we're doing. Hope you got to join us. Thanks. It doesn't, I can't get it. Yeah, thanks.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Also, thank you very much for the organisers for involving CERL in this event. We're very grateful. Yet another collaborative effort of lots of libraries. Got 3 slides. Let's see if I can do a minute each. Membership organisation, pretty much like CLARIN and DARIAH, focused on Europe, but we also have members in the United States. It was started by back in the 80s when Emmanuel was saying we started electronic catalogues. Our group of librarians who have a focus on special collections decided to collaborate in sharing records so that they didn't have to deduplicate cataloguing. Became useful for researchers as well, which we hadn't quite anticipated. But now, as a group of libraries with manuscripts and early printed books, we try to create services and tools that are useful for a range of academics and librarians, so early book librarians, manuscript librarians, scholars, and a lot of what we do is actually also relevant to archivists. I will test you on all of the acronyms at the end of this session. Much of what I have available in the consortium as data is on your handout. Come and talk to me about the data sets that we have available for you. We're a bit like a factory, so what we have is all these data sets. They are in many ways connected. In many other ways, they're still not connected, and we would love to be able to create that. It is sort of supported by a pillar of an enormous amount of exchange of information, of best practice, of knowledge, of educating each other, creating a network where we talk to one another. So that's the human aspect that Emmanuel mentioned. And we do not operate in a vacuum, so all of our data sources connect to external resources or feed into it or take from it. We're very good at taking as well. And what we always want to do is to make it available to whoever wants it. It's freely available most of the time, all of the time. Which is not very good at making it available yet. So this is where I really hope that you will come and talk to me and say, great data set. The way you present it or give it to us is really not very good. Help us learn and help us to support the academic network in the best possible way.